Hello! Have you heard? I'm running a Get Creative workshop at ELHAP today. Would you like to join me? Just follow the ELHAP structure into the orchard where you'll find me in the roundhouse. So it's time to get your creative hats on and join me, Vikki, for a Get Creative workshop. Together, we are going to flex our creative and artistic muscles. I can't wait to see you.
Well, hi! Oh, thank you for coming. This is the roundhouse. What do you think? It looks great, right? So thanks so much for coming to our Get Creative session today. Would you like to come inside? Let's go. Hello! Thank you for joining me in the roundhouse again for another Get Creative workshop with me, Vikki. So before we get started in this creative workshop, I'd like to talk to you about the space that we're in. This is the roundhouse, and the roundhouse is in the orchard. And this is where the Orchard Project are based most of the time. So they do a lot of activities in here and a lot of creative workshops of their own. Now, I've been looking around at this space and I can see some of their amazing artworks on display. So I'd really like to show you some of them. Are you ready? Let's go. So now we're ready to start our creative workshop. And what is this week about? Well, this week we are doing some tin foil printing. Now you might be thinking, what is that? I've never heard of that before. And you do need some tin foil. And you also need some paints like this. Water-based paints are best, really. You will need a paintbrush and a cup of water and just some blotting tissue paper to dry off your paintbrush. And you also need some of these little cotton buds to make your designs with. And of course you will need some A4 paper. Now I'm just going to show you a little example of some of the things that you can do with this technique. So I've done some crazy patterns. If you have a look there, crazy patterns, lots of bright colours. And I've also done an under the sea picture with a jellyfish and some starfish and a shark. So there you go. You can honestly be as creative as you like with this technique. I've even done some funny faces. There you go. So let's get started. So here we have our working space and I need a flat surface to work on. This table is not particularly flat, so I've got a mat here which is a nice smooth surface to put my tin foil on. And here we go. Here is my sheet of tin foil and it needs to be as flat as you can make it. It needs to be nice and smooth. So I'm just going to tape this down so that it doesn't move all over the place when I'm painting. because you really don't want this to move about while you're working. There we go, nice and flat. So we're only going to be working on a sort of A4 size. You won't really be able to print anything that is outside of this size, so we're just going to work on there. I'm going to start off, which colour shall I start off with? I think I'm going to go for some orange. Let's go. I only need quite a thin layer of paint with this technique. If it's too thick, then it doesn't really work as well. The lines don't become clear enough. So you need to brush it out as much as you can and really spread the paint out. A bit more. Just spreading this right out. And now comes the fun bit. I am going to use one of these cotton buds you can see here to draw out my design. So I think I'm just going to go for lots of patterns at the moment, so I'm going to do some swirls, and you can see nice and clearly that swirl in the paint. And a big one, I'm just going to do lots of them, and you can overlap them as much as you like. And I'm going to switch over because there's quite a lot of paint on that side of the cotton bud now, so I'm just going to switch over to a clean side. Do some small swirls. Just to make sure that my space is full up with marks. Lovely. I'm also going to clean my brush in some water just to get rid of that paint, and then I'm going to blot it out on some tissue paper just to get that excess paint off so it's clean for the next one. Right, you really want to work quite quickly with these because you don't want the paint to dry. Now is the fun bit, because we are going to just lay this piece of paper down on top of our artwork. Make sure you cover all of the artwork, and we're just going to gently smooth this paper down onto the paint. Make sure you smooth it all the way across. And now we get to reveal our design. So I'm just going to grab this little corner and peel back, and you can see the design has come off onto the paper. There we go. And it actually comes off as a mirror image. You can't really tell on this one, but I advise against doing writing on these because it will come out the opposite way round. So there we have it. That's our first print. Wonderful. I'm going to put this somewhere safe to dry out, somewhere where it's not going to get any paint on anything. So here we go. So now we are just wiping away our design, ready for another one. I'm using this tissue paper to wipe away the paint that I've already used. My hands are so cold. So I've wiped away quite a lot of paint, and now I'm going to put some more colours on there. So next I think I'm going to pick the red, nice bright red. And this is quite thick, so I'm going to have to spread this one out quite a lot. And a bit more. So it's nice, the paint is nice and spread out on this tin foil. Right, now time to get another cotton bud. And I think this time I'm going to draw a butterfly. So I'm going to start off in the middle with the body, like this. And then a little head. And some wings. One wing, two wings, and I'm going to do some little ones at the bottom. There we go. And I think I'll do some little swirls on the wings just to decorate them. Make sure these marks are nice and clear. You want to be able to see the tin foil through the paint so that your design becomes clear. So you might need to press down quite firmly. I think I'm going to add some more patterns around here just to decorate this space, this artwork a little bit more, make it a little bit more exciting. Oh, I nearly forgot, I'm going to put some antennae on my butterfly. There we go. There we go. And I'm quite pleased with that design. So now let's print it. And remember, if you decide you don't like something, you can always just brush over with the paintbrush and do it again. Here we go. So I'm laying my paper down nice and flat and smoothing it out. Make sure you smooth along the whole surface of the paper. And we're going to peel off. And there we go. There is our butterfly. And again, I'm just going to put this somewhere safe to dry. Now I'm going to get my clean paintbrush and brush this away. Bye bye, butterfly. To get rid of all my marks so I can do a brand new artwork. Now this time I think I'd like to mix together red and purple, so I might add some more red at the bottom and smooth this out, and I'm going to fade it into purple at the top. I just need to re-stick my tin foil down because it's a little bit creased up now. You really don't want any creases in the tin foil because they will come out in your prints. So let's get some more paint on there. A little bit more. That's it. And now I'm going to clean my paintbrush a little bit before I get the purple. Here we go. Here is some purple. And I'm going to put this on the top of my work. I'm going to get a bit more because it's a little bit thin. And I'm just going to blend this together a little bit. So you get a nice fade between the purple and the red. There we go. Right, now I'm thinking for this one, maybe I will do some more funny faces. Here goes. So, gonna start off with a squarish face with some spiky hair and a big smile. And now I'm drawing in their eyes. And that was their neck and their body, and now I'm doing some arms. Great. Now I think I'm going to do a circle face. With a triangle shaped mouth. And some nice big eyes. And then some zigzaggy hair. Let's put some eyes in there. There we go. They look very excited, this funny face. Now I'm going to do a skinny face. Long skinny face. With a big mouth. Some big eyes. There we go. So they're my funny faces. And I'm going to print those now. Here we go, putting down my paper as flat as I can and smoothing over the whole piece of paper. So we want to get all that lovely paint onto the paper. And I'm going to grab the corner, peel back really gently. And there we go. Another artwork. It's as easy as that. Right. Now I think I'm going to wipe this off. Wipe these colours of paint off and start again. Just using my tissue to get rid of all this excess paint. In fact, I'm going to dab it in a little bit of water just to be able to clean this off. Now I think I'm going to use some blue and green because I'd quite like to do a little under the sea artwork. So here's my blue. Lots of blue on there. And I'm going to add a little bit of green just to get that lovely sea colour, that deep sea colour. And the other thing you may have noticed is that the texture of these brush strokes comes out in the artwork as well. So I'm going to do some wiggly brush strokes for this under the sea feeling. Just layering all these marks up until I'm really happy with this. I'm going to grab another cotton bud and I'm going to start with an octopus, I think. So here's the body. And there's some octopus legs. I'm going to start the other side. There we go, and I think I'm going to put in some eyes, lovely big eyes for this octopus. Now, if you decide you're not happy with this, then all you need to do is grab your brush and brush it away and do another one. Just like that. And now I'm going to put my wavy lines back in for my watery feel. until I'm really happy with this. Great, now let's start again. Again, I'm using a clean cotton bud to start this again. Let's see. So I do like the octopus, but I want something else in it. So I might do the octopus a little bit smaller and put it in up here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs so far, and everyone knows an octopus has 8 legs, so I'm gonna need to do 2 more, and I might make them quite curly. There we go. I really like that octopus. I just need a couple of eyes. I want to make sure they're nice and clear. There we go. Now I think I'm going to put some starfish in down here. There we go. Another one, I think. Put some little eyes on them. Yeah. And now I'm going to try some fish. Just some little fish shapes. And maybe some seaweed in front of these fish. So they're hiding in the seaweed. There we go. And maybe some more seaweed down here. And let's do another bigger fish at the top. There we go. I might do a few bubbles. Yeah. There we go. Right, now I'm happy with that under the sea scene. So I'm going to grab my paper and lay it down. Get as much of this design in. I've gone a little bit over, so I'm going to try and get as much in as possible before I smooth it down. Here we go. I'm going to smooth this out as much as I can, making sure that all of the paper is going to pick up the paint. And now, final moment, I get to peel this paper off. Here we go. And so unfortunately you can see that I had a couple of creases in my tin foil, so that has shown up on the paper. So I think it's time for me to get a different sheet of tin foil and have another go. Here we go. I've got my brand new piece of tin foil and it's nice and smooth, ready for my next artwork. So I think with this one, I'd really like to do a kind of sunset image. So I'm going to need a few colours for that. So I'm going to start off with some yellow here. I'm just going to put that in the middle of my artwork. Smooth it out like this in the middle. And that's going to be the center of my piece and the sunshine that is sitting on the horizon. Right, now I'm going to clean that off. And then I'm going to get some blue for my sea. And that's going in the bottom half of my artwork. And it doesn't really matter if you blend the colours by accident in this. It kind of adds to the effect, really. And I might put in some more wavy lines like I did with my last piece. And then wipe that brush again. Actually, now I'm going to clean that brush, ready for some orange and pink. Now I've just dried off my brush as well to pick up a bit of pink. Here we go. So this is going to be my lovely sunset sky. And I'm blurring all the edges of my sun with my pink. Let's get a little bit more on there. Okay, in fact, I think I'm going to put a little bit of pink in the water as well, just a little bit of reflection in the waves. So I just have a little bit of pink left on my brush. There we go. Now I'm going to take another cotton bud and I'm going to draw in some more waves. And I'm actually going to draw in the reflection of the sun here in some wavy lines. And I'm going to need some sun rays. So I'm going to draw my sun shape there. Just do some lovely lines out from the sun. There we go. Adding some more lines in here just to get that feeling of the sun rays stretching out across the horizon. So now I think I'm happy with that actually. I don't want to overcomplicate it. So I'm going to grab another sheet of paper. Here we go. Let's put this down nice and flat on my tin foil and smooth it all out again. So the main things with this to remember are you want to make sure it's quite a thin layer of paint and not too wet either, because that will distort the image that you get printed off. And you don't want the paint to dry out, so you need to work quite quickly really. And then we're going to smooth this paper right out to the edges. Make sure I get all the edges smoothed out. So I've got my corner that I'm going to grab and then peel this off in one motion. There we go. That is my sunset print. And you may notice there's some paint left on here. You can actually take another print from this, although it won't be as bright as the original. So I'm just going to do that just so that you can see how it looks. So print this, smooth this down quite firmly to get as much paint onto the page as we can. And I'm going to peel that off to show you. So there you can see this print is much lighter, much lighter, but you can still see the colours. There we have it. So here we have a look at some of the artworks that I've made in today's Get Creative session. And I hope it's inspired you to create some of your own. Thank you for joining me in today's Get Creative workshop. I hope you have been inspired to make some tinfoil prints of your own. And as always, I'd love to see them. So please just drop us an email and send us a photo. We'd love to see your artworks at home. So again, thank you, and I will see you again next time. Bye!